Servus Männer, it's Red Pill Germany again. Things are moving fast, in my opinion at least. Germany is moving more and more into a position, or things are developing in a way that I would say that Germany becomes a dystopian nightmare. And yeah, if you live here, or if you have been here, or if you know a little better from first experience how it is in Germany, you might ask, wait a second, that's not true. I've been there, the sun shines and it's nice, and you have bratwurst and beer, and people are doing well. And what is this guy talking about, right? Oh, you should rename yourself to Black Pill Germany, ha ha ha. Yeah, okay, I can understand that. I said it very often. On the surface level, things are not looking that bad. I agree. But just like many great thinkers already said before, also in the Middle Ages, for example, um, yeah, you can see the naughty stuff swimming in the middle of the sweet honey. Um, uh, and that means if you just look a little bit closer, then you can easily see that it's not looking so great, actually, and that we are moving into a very, very scary and not so good future. And I want to clarify some things. I want to give some more examples, discuss some more recent developments. But if you listen to my videos, you know that recently I have talked about similar things before. So just one little thing that I want to point out, and many of my previous videos over the last years were touching on that subject, and that is cash. Yeah, not just gold or something like that, but good old cash, paper money, coins, and so on. Yeah, Germany wants to impose now also a 10,000 euro limit for cash transactions. There are many other countries, European countries, for example, who have done that already, and the excuse or the pretense is always that they do this to fight illegal practices and corruption and whatnot, right? But is that really what they want to do? I don't think so, because when you look at it, when there is other things to do to fight organized crime, for example, then for some reason they don't do anything. Yeah, they don't do anything, nothing at all, and that just tells me that they're not that serious about fighting organized crime or corruption. I mean, just look at the health department of Germany, the Federal Ministry for Health. That is institutionalized corruption, basically. If you wanted to fight corruption, Spahn would be behind bars, right? And many in his ministry, and half of the CDU would be behind bars, our conservative party. But of course, they don't want to fight corruption. They want control over the citizens. They want the perfect surveillance state. And if everybody pays by debit or credit card, yeah, then guess what? Then you have a digital signature. You leave it wherever you pay. They know exactly where you are. They know exactly what you bought and what you paid for it, and so on. So cash is freedom, yeah? And this is just one of the topics. Right now, and this is what many people warned about, and they were called conspiracy nut jobs and lunatics, or how should I say that? Like that they are painting a bleak picture, and they're these you know what I'm trying to say, like people who exaggerate, lunatics, etc. But what do we have now? After our government spent the last year to promise over and over again that there will never be a compulsory jab in Germany. You will never be forced to take a pharmaceutical concoction that you don't trust, that this would be a personal decision. They said this over and over again. And what do they plan now? Officially, mind you, officially plan for autumn. Yeah, when the scary India Delta thing would come to Germany, right? What they're planning is that only if you have a vax certificate only then you can go to a supermarket, not a football game or like a pop concert. No, a supermarket or a bakery. Yeah, staple foods, buying food will be under the condition that you let some stranger inject you with something. It's crazy, absolutely insane. And of course they say, you can always get tested, but the tests will be extremely expensive all of a sudden. Like now they're almost free, but then they want to make them 100 euro, 150 euro or something. Absolutely crazy, because the cheap tests will not be allowed. You have to take the expensive test with a actual doctor's signature or something like that, and that will be pricey. All right, so that's one thing, and if that is actually happening, well, that means that it is a forced, more or less, forced immunization, which is not even true because it's not an actual immunization. Yeah. What we see right now is many, and I think one can talk about these things. This is not misinformation or anything. I mean, we see now from studies in countries where this new variant is already spreading, if you believe in that. But let's stay within the official framework, right? Let's stay within the official news. So let's assume that all of this is true and nothing is faked or something. Yeah, these official studies, what are they telling us? They're telling us that the viral load of a vaccinated person is just as high in case of an infection as if you're uninfected. So that means, of course, you can pass it on to other people. Of course, you are still a quote unquote danger to other people. Of course. Yeah. And their whole argument is that you're protecting other vulnerable people. Yeah, but if you can still pass it on, you might protect yourself because you don't suffer from extreme symptoms yourself, but everyone around you, you could. And bear with me, let's stay within the official framework. I'm not saying this is real. I'm just arguing kind of within the official way of thinking, right? So if we take the official narrative and the official scientific findings, then we would have to conclude by strict logic that no, a vaccination is not protecting other people, it is protecting yourself. Yeah? And not being vaccinated is not selfish, but it is, if anything at all, it is reckless or dangerous for yourself only and not to anybody else around you. Yeah? So this whole narrative is just crap. It's just not true. Yeah. All right. What else do we have? Well, I talked about it yesterday already. That the public broadcasting will be. They can basically determine themselves now how much money they will get from the German households. That's very clever. Yeah, very very convenient. It's like. If I could do that, determine my own salary and then determining what my job is also, and then forcing people to pay for that, no matter if they like it or not. Yeah, that's very, very nice. I bet a lot of people would like to be in a situation like that. Anyway, so this is where Germany is moving now, and these are just a couple of examples. And of course, people who just speak their mind, or even other organizations that are out of the official narrative, they will just be banned, they will be censored, or worse. And this is where we're going. But hey, the sun is shining, and there is bratwurst, and there is beer, and everyone is nice. And yeah, great, awesome. Yeah. Meanwhile, in France, there is almost 250,000 people protesting against these measures, and in Germany, it's only a fraction. It's only like 10% of that. Like 20,000, something like that. I don't know. In Berlin, when the very German law enforcement of Berlin had their little freak out and acted like we're in some kind of banana republic, which is appropriate because we are. And this is just something I want to say about that. I don't want to make a whole video about it, but I just want to say at the end, yeah. And I said that in previous videos also. This is not new information to people who follow my channel. Yes, the police in Berlin, yeah, it's not really German, if you know what I'm saying. And that this police force is now cracking down so hard and using very aggressive tactics, to just say it in a very neutral, or it's almost a too nice way to say it, if you know what I mean. Very aggressive tactics towards peaceful protesters. Then this makes you think, our regime now is using immigrants basically and recruiting them for a police force in order to crack down on protesting citizens. Think about that for a minute, yeah. And of course, not everyone in Berlin law enforcement is an immigrant, but a lot of them are, and maybe that has something to do with why they would beat and kick peaceful protesters to that degree that we've seen. Because I think normally when they're your people, so to speak, you wouldn't do that, or only the real sycophants would do that, and normal people, or who have a shred of morality, they would just not do it. Yeah, they would just act as if they're doing it, but not actually using hardcore violence on peaceful protesters and grandmas. Yeah? So think about that. Yeah, these colorful people who came to us, now they're given a badge and a stick, and they're let loose on the German population. That's great. Okay, so maybe this is my little black pill. Yeah, you see the light of day is almost gone. You see, I think my camera can amplify that pretty well. So it's almost pitch black out there. And that's maybe a nice way to end it. Black Pill Germany signing out. Good night. Servus, Kameraden.